Hello, my name is Matthew, and today I'll teach you how to use the cosine law to solve a triangle problem. The first equation you see on top is what is known as the cosine law. A squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2 times b times c times cosine of angle A. The equation below is the same cosine law but just written differently. And the reason that the cosine law is commonly written in two ways is because the version on top can be used to calculate for the missing side faster, while the second version can calculate the angles faster. Here's a very quick overview of when the cosine law should be used. First, just like the sine law, the cosine law is useful for solving all types of triangles, not just the right triangles, and it can be used to solve for both angles and sides. There are two particular cases when the sine law cannot be used, but the cosine law can be very useful. One case is when the question asks you to find the third side when you already have the other two sides and an angle in between. The other case is when you have all three sides of the triangle, but none of the angles. And the question asks you to find any of the missing angles. Let me demonstrate these two cases. Here's the first question. How long is the side C? We have two sides and an included angle, and we need to find the length that is opposite to the angle. Let's set up our equation using the cosine law. C squared is equal to square of the two sides that include the angle minus 2 times the two sides times cosine of the included angle. 8 squared is 64, 11 squared is 121, minus 2 times 8 times 11 is 176 times cosine of angle 42, and that is 185 minus 176 times cosine of 42 degrees. So now we need to plug this into a calculator and it'll tell you that it is 54.21. But that's not how long C is, but a C squared. So now we take the square root on both sides of the equation. Square root of C squared is equal to plus minus square root of 54.21. It's important to remember that when you take square root on both sides of the equation, that you need to put plus and minus there. But when you're solving for triangle, we don't have such thing as a negative length. So maybe you don't have to. But technically, when you take a square root on both sides of the equation, you always have to put plus minus in one of the sides. But as I said, because we're working with the triangle, we reject the negative. Square root and the square cancel each other out. So we have C is equal to square root of 54.21 is 7.36. That's our final answer. Let's try finding an angle now. Find the angle A when we are given all three sides of the triangle. Here, the second equation goes cosine of angle A is equal to the square of the two sides that include the angle, 8 squared plus 7.36 squared minus the square of the opposite side, 11 squared, over 2 times the product of the two sides that include the angle. So 8 times 7.36. And if you plug in the right side into your calculator, it'll give you negative 0.024. And now we take inverse cosine on both sides of the equation. Cosine inverse and cosine A is equal to cosine inverse of negative 0.024. Cosine inverse and cosine cancel each other out. So we have A is equal to cosine inverse of negative 0.024. And if you plug that into your calculator, it'll give you 91.38 degrees. And that's the angle A, so that is our final answer. I know that you might have been thrown off because of the negative sign of the cosine, but it is totally fine. When the angle is bigger than 90 degrees, cosine of that angle is negative. So you don't have to freak out because you have a negative number, but stay calm, solve the question to the end, and you'll find the right answer. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. And feel free to leave a comment below for the next video that you would like to see. I'm Matthew, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!